Spiritual growth through travel introduction travel is not just a way to change scenery or take a break from daily routine. It is an opportunity to broaden horizons, reconsider life priorities, and meet your true self. For many people, travel becomes the catalyst that launches a process of inner transformation. In this text, we will explore in detail how travel contributes to spiritual growth, unlocks human potential, and helps one discover new meanings in life. What is spiritual growth? Spiritual growth is a process of inner development aimed at deep self-awareness and understanding one's place in the world. It includes aspects such as developing mindfulness, understanding true values, finding joy in simple things, discovering the deeper meaning of life. Spiritual growth is not tied solely to religious practices. Although it can often be expressed through them, it is more about the journey of self-discovery than about following dogma. Travel, by its unique nature, provides exceptional opportunities for this journey. How travel affects human consciousness, stepping outside the comfort zone. One of the key factors contributing to spiritual growth during travel is stepping out of your comfort zone. We are used to stability, familiar food, understandable language, familiar faces. While traveling, a person faces new conditions where much is unfamiliar, and sometimes uncomfortable. This discomfort forces you to look at familiar things in a new way, reassess your life, and learn to adapt to various circumstances. Over time, you realize that happiness does not depend on comfort, and inner peace is closely connected to the ability to accept any situation. Broadening horizons travel introduces us to many cultures, traditions, religions, and ways of life. We begin to understand that our culture is just one of many possible systems of beliefs. This leads to greater openness, tolerance, and understanding of other people. When a person sees how differently people live around the world, they start asking themselves, why do I live this way and not another? What is truly important in my life? Such reflections are key to self-knowledge and spiritual growth. Connecting with nature. A major aspect of travel is the opportunity to connect with nature in its pristine beauty. Mountains, oceans, forests, and deserts evoke awe, reminding us of the vastness of the world and our own place within it. Observing nature helps restore inner harmony, reduce stress levels, and cultivate a sense of gratitude and mindfulness. Being far from city noise, a person hears their inner voice more clearly, which promotes spiritual development. Travel as a school of life learning, to be in the present moment while traveling. You are forced to be present in the moment. New surroundings, unfamiliar routes, and unusual encounters demand full engagement. This naturally develops Mingness. In everyday life, we often live on autopilot. Home, work, home. During travel, every little thing can surprise us. Every Mingness day is full of new experiences. This practice of being in the present moment makes a person more attentive and grateful. Overcoming. Fierce travel teaches us to overcome fears. Fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. Fear of failure. This is especially true for solo travelers. A person learns to trust themselves, make decisions in unpredictable situations, find solutions even in the most difficult circumstances. Each victory over fear strengthens self-belief and fills one with inner power, which is an essential part of spiritual growth. Gaining inner freedom during travel, habitual social roles fade away. A person is no longer someone's employee or someone's relative, and is temporarily free from the labels that society imposes. They remain face to face with their true self. This sense of inner freedom allows a deeper understanding of true desires, goals, and dreams. Travel teaches us to live by the call of the heart and be honest with ourselves. Spiritual practices. While traveling, many people consciously choose travel as a path to spiritual growth. Combining it with various practices, pilgrimages. Since ancient times, pilgrimages have been considered a way to cleanse the soul and get closer to the divine. Buddhists travel to Lhasa, Christians to Jerusalem, Muslims to Mecca. Pilgrimage goes beyond religion. It is an act of deep self-discovery and inner work. Meditative. Treats trips to ashrams in India, Zen monasteries in Japan, or yoga retreats. In Bali, allow people to disconnect from the outer world and devote themselves to inner silence. Meditation, yoga, and silence deepen contact with oneself and facilitate inner transformation. Spiritual trekking, hiking in the mountains, such as trekking in the Himalayas, the Camino de Santiago in Spain, or the Way of St. James, become real challenges not only for the body but also for the spirit. Each peak symbolizes a barrier overcome, and each path becomes a road to the true self. The psychological effect of travel: deconstruction of the ego during travel. People often experience a breakdown of their ego. What seemed important in daily life, status, possessions, job title, loses significance far from home. This can be painful but also liberating. When a person stops identifying with material things, they unlock the potential for soul growth. A deep sense of inner worth arises, independent of external attributes. Reassessment of priorities. Many people change their priorities after traveling. They begin to value simplicity, nature, and sincere communication more. Material goals give way to the pursuit of harmony, joy, and inner peace. Returning to oneself deep inside. Every person knows their true desires and purpose, but the noise of civilization often drowns out that voice. Travel helps to hear oneself. Again, cleanse from the superficial, return to one's roots. Travel as therapy. In recent years, travel has increasingly been used as a method of psychotherapy. For example, ecotherapy, spending time in nature, helps restore mental health. Animal therapy, interacting with animals during travel reduces anxiety levels. Travel therapy, special routes with psychologists help. People work through internal conflicts. Travel becomes a true medicine for the soul, allowing people to escape the everyday circle of problems and look at their lives from a new perspective. Examples of spiritual growth through travel: stories of famous people. Leo Tolstoy, in his later years, traveled across Russia, after which he radically changed his views on life. Choosing simplicity and spiritual practices. Steve Jobs in his youth traveled to India, which helped him realize the importance of intuition and spiritual development. Influencing his future path, Paulo Coelho, author of The Alchemist, undertook a pilgrimage along the Way of St. James, which completely changed his worldview and inspired his writing. Stories of ordinary people. Every year, more people set off on journeys in search of themselves, some after a divorce, some after burnout at work, some simply following an inner calling. Many of them admit that it was travel that became the starting point for a new, more conscious and happy life. How to travel mindfully to ensure travel truly contributes to spiritual growth. It's important to approach it consciously, don't chase. The number of countries focus on the quality of experiences. Spend time not only in tourist spots but immerse yourself in local culture. Practice mindfulness. Observe, listen, feel. Keep a travel journal to record your internal changes. Allow yourself time for solitude and reflection. Be open to new people and experiences. Returning home. After travel, it's very important to remember that the journey doesn't end when you return home. The real journey continues within. All the lessons, discoveries, and experiences can be integrated into everyday life. Maintain inner peace even in the hustle of life. Remember your true nature. Remind yourself of the value of simplicity. Strive to be present every day. Spiritual growth has no final destination. It is an endless path of self-knowledge and understanding of the world, where travel becomes a faithful companion. Conclusion: travel is not only about geographical movement, it is an opportunity to dive deeper into yourself, see your limitations, destroy illusions, and learn to live in the here and now. It gives a sense of freedom, teaches trust, awakens gratitude, and brings joy to life. Spiritual growth through travel is possible for anyone who is ready to open their heart to new experiences. Because in every journey we find not only a new world, but also our true selves. And sometimes that true self for the first time. Travel, seek, discover, and you will be amazed at how deep and meaningful your inner world can become.